Welcome, greetings, and hello. You may call me Velvet, but only for today. You have entered my reality, and today we are looking at Onward in VR. For those of you confused, this is not a Disney movie made into a VR game. Instead, this is a military first-person shooter in VR. Onward is $24.99 on Steam, and again, is a first-person shooter game with a military setting. We're going to be looking at the pros and cons of Onward, and whether or not it is a game you should buy in 2020. Start. Let's go to the pros. Number 1. The detail they put into the guns in Onward is excellently done. As someone who owns several firearms of my own, I can attest that the details they put in with how each magazine works, or how the firearm is racked, or the sights that you can put on them and use, and the differences between the sights is absolutely amazing. They did a great job with it, and they put great detail into it. Whether you're going to be using a shotgun or running around with a light machine gun with a giant drum of bullets makes a world of difference, because they take different times to reload. With the shotguns, I can put a couple of rounds in, or if I have one of the AK-47s, it just switches in and out quickly, but the light machine gun takes quite a while to switch out, and it makes the game feel different depending on how you're approaching it. The grenades on your vest, having to pull the pin and hold them before you throw them, or the night vision goggles on your hat, the details were excellent in Onward, and it helps the game immerse you into the feeling of being part of that military. Number 2. Onward is a challenging game. Whether you're getting on by yourself and trying to do a hunt or evac, or playing against other people or friends, the game presents challenges consistently. I have a group of friends that I play with consistently, and we have spent quite a bit of time in Onward just trying to beat evac on harder difficulties. Now, fortunately, they have rookie settings when you're playing by yourself or with friends. That lowers the AI to a point that it's not too bad. But as you get up to the harder settings, it's really hard to beat them.
Video game now, sorry.
And it makes the game replayable because of that. Because you can keep coming back and trying to just get the next difficulty beat. Just adding a few more of their troops, or again, trying evac on elite difficulty is a blast. Now let's take a look at some of the cons that Onward suffers. Number 1. After the release of the Oculus Quest, Onward let out a patch, and the patch affected both PC and Quest members, and it lowered the graphics and the details to a lot of the foliage and terrain, and a lot of the details and small things in the houses. As an example, they took the wallpaper off the walls, or they removed most of the clutter of the fallen furniture out of the houses, and even though that seems like something small, it pulls you out of the game a little bit. It pulls you out of the virtual reality aspect of it, and it's disappointing to see, because they very easily could have just had separate servers for the two. Now, that being said, if graphics are not paramount to you, which I can definitely understand that, the game is still really good. Onward is still a really fun game to play. I still play it somewhat consistently. Number 2. As difficult as the game is, the AI is not the most creative. I have on several occasions had someone pop through a doorway and I gunned them down, and everyone that heard it just floods through the same doorway. Now, eventually they always kill me, but it would have been nice to see at least some of the AI take a different approach, or find a different door, or try to throw a grenade in, something to that effect to flush me out. Now again, that primarily affects you when you're playing solo or co-op, so in online versus it's not a notable feature, but It would have been nice to have a little more diversity in their AI. Number 3. When you look down at your character's vest, and this may have been by design so that you can see what's on your back, I'm not certain, but you look down in the center of your character instead of like your head is peering down. It's really jarring, and it makes it hard for me to tell what I'm grabbing or where my hand is. It really messes with your depth perception, and it bothers me quite a bit. But fortunately, you mostly just need the rifle in your hand. So that's not the most killing problem with the game, but it is annoying and tedious, especially as you're moving forward and trying to use more that's on your vest. Number 4. This is not the game's fault. This has nothing to do with Onward. It's a problem with VR when you're not willing to put in a lot of money. It's really difficult to handle the different aspects of a game like Onward is with the military style when you don't have the equipment necessary. So as an example, if you don't have one of the rifle simulators that click into the controllers, it's really hard to hold the rifle still to look down the sights. And because you're still holding the controllers, it's kind of hard to put that gun away and pull a grenade and use it in a quick, hot situation. And again, that's not the game's fault by any means, but it is a negative to that style of game in VR, is it's not the easiest to make those quick decisions. And maybe that's just because I suck, and I'm not going to argue that. But it still is annoying to me. Now, all in all, even with the graphics downgrade, which is extremely disappointing, I still really enjoy playing Onward. Especially if you've got a group of friends that's going to play with you. That does make it a world better, because then you don't have to wait for queues or for other people to be on, or wait till there's a busy time that you can get match made. You can actually just get on and play co-op, and it's still a lot of fun. And the challenge to it really does keep you going, because it immerses you in it so well that competitive nature in you really wants to beat that mission or beat that map, or really get that evac done, and it's a lot of fun to do. I do recommend Onward, but I do understand the hesitation with it. There is some problems the game has, and some of them are not Onward's fault. Some of them are like the graphics issues that they decided to roll out. Nonetheless, I do think it's a good game, and I do think it's something worth looking at buying, especially for a $25 price tag. That is a really good price for a game, especially one that I've put quite a bit of time into. Hopefully this can help you guys out, but nonetheless, thank you for watching.